Howdy out there. It's David Duford at Duford Insurance Group. I'm sitting across the virtual table here with a friend in the business, Mr. David Heath. Say hello, David.
Hey, everybody. How we doing?
David's been in the final expense business for quite a while. He's working with Duford Insurance Group as of these days, and he was able to close and return a 29 times return on investment with this one crazy final expense lead trick. How about that for clickbait title, right, David? So. And it's totally true. You know, when you use clickbait, you got to deliver. So that's why I have David on here, and he's going to talk about what he's been doing to write as much business as he's had. He's going to go through the process, how he works these leads, and of course, revealing how he gets the leads to begin with, and kind of some tips and tricks and how you can implement the same. So David, why don't we start off just with a short bio about yourself, how you got in the business?
Okay. Well, like you said, I've been in the business a while. I've worked for multiple carriers, some MLM, some not. So basically what happened here was I got in a crunch. I've always been a direct mail kind of person. And had a mistake on my direct mail. Imagine that. Someone made a mistake besides me. That's the best thing. So I had to come up with a way to feed my family since I wasn't getting direct mail leads. And I knew I was at least 5 weeks out. You know, once it messed up, you can look at a minimum of 5 weeks before it's going to get back. So I started thinking about things that I'd done in the past. I'd seen other agents do in the past. And I was sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? And I thought, well, my goodness, we've got a county fair coming up. Now, I live in a rural part of Tennessee. So I knew that would get some people there. The one thing you want to do first is research where your clients are going to be. Now, if you haven't been in the business long enough yet to figure out who our clients are, you soon will. Give it a little time. But you have to figure out where you can get them. And I didn't know that this would go as well as it did. But I did know a free fair where you don't pay to get in the door, you're going to have people there.
Right.
So basically what I did, I decided to give something away in return for some information. So I've seen several different ideas, big screen TVs, large grills, you know, anything that you think would appeal to somebody walking by, and let them fill out a little bit of information for you. Now, as far as the information I gathered, I'm giving away the prize. I feel that I can ask what I want to on my entry for the prize. So basically what I did, I want to go ahead and set their mindset up to start with. So the first question on mine is, have you attended a funeral in the last 2 years?
Now, can we slow down just 1 second? I want to go back for maybe some people that may be missing. So first of all, you've got a booth at a county fair, basically, right? A table set up.
Just a table.
And what does that table have on it? Like, what are you presenting to get people to be drawn in? Yeah.
What I put on there, I just put some literature about final expense insurance, just things about the prices of funerals, how they've gone up, and it would be information only. It would be nothing about sales. It would be strictly information they could take home with them and read. Every bit of information has my business card in it also. Stapled to it. But you don't want to come across, you want to give information. These people need to seek out what they need to do and make that decision on their own with your help if they need it.
But it's not the information that's drawing them over. It's the free thing you're giving away. I think that's important for the audience to understand.
It's freebie.
What freebie did you use?
I used a large barbecue grill this time that I had bought on clearance. I always look for that. You know, you gotta do the best you can. But no, you know, be looking for things big ticket items that are marked down very low.
So something like this, I'm showing on the screen. You got something like this going on, right? Now that the audience knows what big prize are giving away, let's go through kind of what you're asking on the survey, because you're that's an entry to win the grill, right?
Yeah.
And there's some things you say on the form that helps you qualify if there's somebody you want us to talk to, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said, the way that I start out, the first question is, have you attended a funeral in the last 2 years? They'll answer that. The second one, if you were to die tonight, would you be a burden on your family? The third one is, how do you plan to pay for your final expenses? And I give them options underneath, like yes or no, but like on that question, it would be savings account, life insurance, or I don't know, or family member. I put that on there. And then the next question, I would ask them, what is the best time to reach out to you? And they would put a time. And then something else, if you were doing Medicare, say, you could probably put on there, are you currently on Medicare? And have a yes or no answer, to give you something to talk about when you reach out to these people is the main thing.
Right. Yeah, that's great. So how many leads total did you get from this event?
Well, the way that I've got it figured, I ended up with 131. I ended up with 3 repeats because I go through and take any repeats out before the drawing is done, because I feel that's only fair, 1 entry per person. And then out of those 131, a lot of them did have life insurance. They answered yes on that question, or that was how they were going to pay for their final expenses. There were 61 that answered no to that question. So what I started to do after that, once I evened them out, I put my ones on the right-hand side that appeared to be good. Now, you still want to talk to those people.
Right.
Just to make sure, because sometimes people don't tell the truth, believe it or not.
Go figure.
So I started with the 61. Now, I started calling them at first just to see which ones would pop first, because there were some that would actually write out a little message, I need your help, or something like that to the side, believe it or not.
Wow.
Those are the ones I called first. Anything that was written there. They were all pretty local. Now, I did have some that were 50 miles away or so that drove in, so they were all within driving distance.
Right.
So I started out setting appointments over the telephone at first. And then I just started going to see the individuals, taking their form with them that they'd filled out, asking them if they would like to talk to me. I didn't come in to try to sell. I just came up to the door and I'd say, I noticed you don't know how you're going to take care of this. Could I show you a few options of how you can?
Right.
And I'd get some yeses, some nos, of course, like with everything else. But I didn't want to make them feel threatened or anything. I'm just coming by to see if they need more information as usual.
Right. Right. Now, are you working these leads that you develop from this county fair any differently than how you work your normal direct mail leads?
No, not at all. Not at all. Besides, let me take that back a little bit. When I come to the door with a direct mail lead, I'm a little more insistent about getting in that door.
Right.
You sent this in. You need my help, or that's the way I'm taking it. With this, it's a little different approach. May I help you? Honestly, is kind of the way I'm going, instead of I'm here to help you.
Right. Gotcha.
But that also depended on if they wrote anything down there. Like the lady that wrote she needed my help. I came to the door and I said, I'm now here to help you.
Yeah, right. She asked for it.
Yeah, you asked for me. You get it. But no, I would say 90% I'm working just like any other kind of direct mail lead.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm just curious some things. I mean, I've, like you've worked direct mail for years as a face-to-face agent for building my national telesales and face-to-face final expense agency. By the way, we recruit nationally, of course, as you guys know. But I'm curious, do you find that the leads you developed from the county fair were any different than your normal direct mail? Were they better off, healthier, anything different, out of curiosity?
To me, buying direct mail for so long, the intent was better on these.
Really?
Honestly, the ones that circled, they had nothing. No, how they were going to pay for their funeral, they don't know. The intent on those were better. Now, overall, as a mix, I would say it all averaged out to about like a direct mail campaign, but it did depend. I noticed a difference on the way they answered the questions.
I see.
But those were the ones, and I guess this would be a good time to throw this in. Another way that I'm working these, I also do something called clover leafing. That is to go to the house on the left, the house on the right, and the house across the street. And when I go there, it's a cold door knock. I am just letting them know that I've been over to this individual's house. I'm the local agent here in the area. If there's anything they need, here's my business card. Please let me know. A few of those I actually got to come right on in the house right then.
Good.
So that's another way to try to take these leads and expand them, make you some more organic leads out of these.
Right.
And anybody running direct mail, I would highly recommend knocking on some other doors around that area. You're going to get told no and get ready for it, but there'll be a yes in there too.
Well, and it's almost like an implied referral. Hey, I was down at your neighbor Joe's house and he sent this card back. I'm sure you've gotten it too. I'm here to help you out too. Do you want to sit out on the porch? Come in. I mean, there's never know to ask, so that's good.
Correct. And remember, in direct mail, they're blasting that entire area. It's not just one person getting a card. So
right.
They'll remember seeing a card coming.
Oh, yeah. Do you, back at the county fair, when you're collecting these forms, are you standing behind the table, flagging people down? What are you doing to convince people to come to the table and fill the form out?
Okay. I am letting the prize, per se, dictate all of that. The first day I sat there for a while, and I noticed people would go the other way sometimes. Now, why would they do that? I don't understand. I don't know, but they would. So after then, I decided I come up with a routine. I was still out working, but I would come by the fair twice a day. And what I would do is empty my bowl down to where there were just a few pieces of paper in there, registration forms. And I noticed as I would empty them down, it would fill back up quick, believe it or not. Sitting there with a full basket does not look good to somebody entering a prize, apparently.
Right.
So I did twice a day. I would go up there once in the morning. I would make sure it was cleared out. And then I'd go usually about 5 o'clock, because from 5 to 10, you had a lot of people coming in to eat. Because you got to think we've got local people from the community up there serving meals. So it's a gathering place in the evening. So I wanted to make sure, and I saw the amount of people putting in really go up once I started doing that.
So really, you just got to get out of your own way. It's just don't scare people off. Just put the thing out there, empty it a couple of times, and make people think they have a good chance of winning. Yeah, and it takes care of itself. It's pretty good.
Yes. Yes.
Where else do you think you could use a strategy other than county fairs?
Well, I've been looking at things. We have, and I don't know how this will work. My next try is going to be, we have these outside flea markets that come around. I'm going to try setting up something there at that. Trade shows would be a good idea. Now, something else, David, that I've done in the past and I'm going to continue doing, I've had to change my business because of what's happened in the United States over the last few years. I was locked into giving seminars at our retirement homes here in our part of Tennessee. Well, they stopped letting me in. That's another good avenue if you can do that, or any kind of we have it's not an assisted living, but it is a government funded basically complex where people can live at a reduced rate depending on what they draw.
Right.
And they all have to be seniors.
Right.
Working with places like that now, go straight to the activities director. Don't look for anyone else other than them. They are the one that's going to be happy to see you.
Right.
Because their job is to put things on the calendar for the people.
Mhm.
They may not have a rush of people coming wanting to talk to senior citizens. I don't know, but that would be a good avenue. I'm thinking about stretching out to other county fairs other than just local, because every county has one.
Yep.
That'll be next year though, not this year. And I'm like anybody else, open to any other ideas where I could try it myself.
Yeah, I think this is what you're doing is just great, because I mean, just looking at the numbers here, you paid about $350 in total for everything accounted for, and just so far, it's prompted you 10,000 in issued business. You've still got appointments, you still got leads to follow up with, and stuff like this is great, guys, especially if you're getting started in the business and cash flow is tight. If you just think creatively and you look for opportunities as opposed to like whining and complaining, you will find there's lots of opportunities, because most people don't do this stuff. County fairs, senior seminars, senior activity places. These places are all over. Flea markets, that's money right there.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to get a start in the business, get good leads, just like David said, and then create a bankroll so that you can now have that money to go buy direct mail or buy the higher quality leads that you can sell in person or over the phone. So, David, appreciate you being on the call here with us and talking about what you do. And let me know how your next flea market goes.
I sure will. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye,
Everybody
David.
go sell.
That's all right. Thank you.
Thank you.